Welcome one and all to the PSDovito podcast. This is number 10. We've had a 2-month break. We just thought we'd leave it a little bit and come back to you when we've got something maybe a bit more worthwhile to talk about. And today we haven't got anything worthwhile to talk about, but what we are going to talk about, we'll see what you think of it. Bang! What's got your goat?
What's got my goat, Bert, is Dick Face, aka Triple H, winning the Royal Rumble and becoming the new World Heavyweight Champion. This is not even desperation. This is Triple H stroking his own ego, because he thought, I've had, I don't know how long since it's been since he won the last world title, but it's been quite a while. So he thought, I know what I'll do. Considering all the top guys are basically out at the moment, I'll step in and I'll fuck the company up even more.
Thing is though, can you fuck the company up? It is so big and they've got so much money that it doesn't really matter what they do, I don't think, and I think that's what they know, is it doesn't matter what they do because people will still watch it.
Yeah, that's the sad thing about it. But their ratings are the lowest they've ever been since 1997. Since 97, they've been about 3 million views every week, and it's dropped to under 3 million. So for me, that would have been a case of, alright, we need to do something quite drastic. We need to do something that the fans are going to get invested in, bring in some new talent, which they did with AJ Styles. And if I was in control, he would have been the man to win the Royal Rumble and become the new champion, because nobody would have seen that coming, and even me, I wouldn't have expected that, but I would have loved to have seen it.
Well, there's a couple of things here. Yeah, they've got new talent in, right? And this is partly why it doesn't matter what WWE do, because any time, any promotion, anywhere gets close to stepping up to that level of interest worldwide. Take New Japan Pro with the Bullet Club. WWE have just gone, right, hang on a minute, they're getting too popular, let's take their top talent. Now they've got to fucking start again with their mid-carders, you know? And with that, they bring them in, and you're saying AJ should have won the Rumble, should have become champion. Yeah, I do think that probably would have been a very good thing to do, but on the other hand, by having him not win the title straight away and go through a few feuds, say with Chris Jericho and whoever, this guy and that guy, it builds him up and they get a bit more longevity out of it. You see what I'm saying? They put the title on him now, then bam, he's main event, and they may burn him out a lot quicker. Like, burn out the fans' interest in him a lot quicker. Yeah, so, alright. Perhaps it was the right move not to put the title on AJ just yet.
Yeah, okay. But I mean, like, Linda McMahon would have been a better choice than Triple H winning that Rumble. Howard Finkel, for fuck's sake, bloody digging up Roddy Piper's corpse and having him winning the Rumble would have been better than Triple H winning it.
They should have had Brooklyn Brawler win. Brooklyn Brawler should be new champion. No, it was right. What I'll say about Triple H winning the Rumble, winning the title, what has it done? What has it done? It's created heat. It's created interest with people, even if you don't like it. And I've never liked Triple H. I've never been able to get on board with him. I liked him early doors when he just like, I knew him as terrorising, and I was like, the guy's got potential. He came in, he'd done the snobby thing, I was like, yeah, he's alright, and then it all started, you know, going tits up, and then it became a case of Triple H was a false person, he was false, ran everyone's throats for 10 fucking years plus.
Yep.
And that, 15 years, however, 1999 was when it started. And you can't, well, even 97, you go back a bit, King of the Ring, you know. But 99 was when it really started. And you can't completely blame Triple H for that, because it was obviously Vince McMahon's idea to push Triple H to that level in 99 and put the title on it. It was Vince McMahon that did that, not Triple H.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's the shit that followed for the years after years after years of just burying people. I mean, like The Undertaker, that gimmick went to the wrong guy. Triple H should be The Undertaker or the Gravedigger, you know, walking around with a shovel, having buried alive matches and just burying everyone like he does, you know. But at the same time, he is, you can't take away, like, as much as I dislike her, as much as I've got no interest in him or anything he's ever done really, you know, he was the shit half of DX, that could have been anyone. He's half in DX, you know. That could have been more or less anyone. But he has worked up, and he has been there, and you know, he can work a match, and you know, he's not a shit wrestler. He's not the most gifted wrestler, not the most technical guy, but you know, he can have a match and he can work. But he's had his time.
That's the one. The guy is basically semi-retired and was only wrestling basically once a year, like The Undertaker. And, you know, should be focusing more on that. You know, obviously he's getting on a bit and probably wanted to have one last run. Hopefully this is his last run. Probably won't be, but, you know, you kind of sort of get that little bit of respect, like, because he hasn't been in the ring and hasn't really been involved as much, but he has been involved in the main event and around the world title, obviously, because that's what Triple H does, you know. But I don't know, it's the fact that he wasn't in the ring, you sort of become more accepting of him.
And you're gonna have to jog my memory, because I'm a little bit rough on some of it, but I haven't paid much attention to WWE over the last sort of 10 years. I've seen bits here and there, but when Triple H first stopped wrestling, I can't remember if it was SummerSlam or WrestleMania or something, and Triple H was a special referee for the match, and then once the match was finished, Randy Orton come down. Triple H, I think it was Randy Orton, so you're going to have to refresh my memory on this. Triple H done the pedigree on, I think, Daniel Bryan, and then Randy Orton pinned him to become the champion, right? Now, to me, this was Triple H winning another world title. He done the pedigree, he done the move that put the guy down. Randy Orton just covered him.
Yeah.
That was Triple H winning another world title, putting himself over again, saying, look, I can beat the top guy. I can beat the world champion. That was him putting himself over and essentially, again, burying that guy a little bit, you know. It's the thing, he's gonna do it, ain't he? He has got to beat every fucking person's record ever to do anything. I mean, there may be the thing that he won't beat Ric Flair's record, just maybe he has got enough respect not to do that, but then, you know, and obviously he's never going to beat the streak. But
He's never going to win the world title another 6 times.
No.
There's no way that's going to happen.
Well, it's Triple H. Never say never.
Yeah, but I don't. I think he has got. I think he has got that much respect for that record sort of thing. I don't think he would do that. If anyone, it's going to be John Cena.
Yeah.
But I don't think even John Cena will get that.
No, I think that's one of them records they're likely to leave untouched.
Yeah, for a long time anyway.
Yeah.
And as I said, if anyone, it'll be John Cena. That'll be the guy that does it. I don't think it'll be Triple H, because then that again, people will start, start moaning, as people do.
Well, there's a good chance Cena will do it, because I mean, unless he has his last run now and doesn't win the title again, he's basically their top dude, their top draw. So they're likely to put the title back on him.
I have no doubts about that they'll put the title back on John Cena eventually, whether it's next year or the year after. He will get the world title again. I think if Cena hadn't got injured, that would have been the guy. That it's because all their top guys were basically out, so they went back to, they was getting desperate. I think that's beyond desperate, but
yeah,
it does create interest. It does create a talking point,
and it does create hate. People still, they go, "Oh, for fuck's sake, that cunt's got the title again." It's like, want to see him lose it. Well, some people go, "I've got no interest in watching it."
Yeah.
But the people that will watch WWE, regardless of how much they piss and moan about it, and I don't like what I see when I watch WWE, so I don't watch it. I watch Lucha Underground, I watch Ring of Honor, I watch New Japan Pro Wrestling, I watch Shimmer, Stardom, I watch Progress, IPW, IFCW, Rev Pro, I watch all these other wrestling that I can enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't like something, don't fucking watch it.
Yeah.
That's the way I see it. But people will sit there and piss and moan about it, and then continue to watch it. And that is why they continue to do things that people don't like, because it doesn't fucking matter. People will still watch it.
Yeah. That's the one. And I think it will end up being Triple H and Reigns, and I'm pretty sure Triple H will put Reigns over, but I can't see that match being a massive draw. And that's the other thing with Triple H. Even though he does bury certain wrestlers, he done the right thing with Daniel Bryan, and even though I don't really like Reigns, it is the right thing to put him over.
Well, he's got to put someone over, and they've got to create new talent. But I think the problem with Roman Reigns, from what I can make out, is to be not a lot of people give a shit about Roman Reigns. And I think it is that Triple H thing where no one gave a shit about Triple H back in the day, but he was forced and shoved down people's throats.
Yep.
And I think that's kind of what they're doing with Roman Reigns. It's like, we don't care that no one likes him, we don't care that no one's interested in him, and they think he's boring and he can't cut a promo and blah blah blah. It comes down to the fact that, well, this is who we want to push, we're going to push him, and all you idiots are going to still watch us.
Exactly, yeah. It doesn't really matter who's in that position, and the only reason Reigns is in that position is because of his bloodline. That's the only reason he is where he is. If he was just a random Samoan guy, he probably wouldn't even be in WWE.
So alright, well, The Rock came back on Monday Night Raw. I saw Tony posted a video of The Rock's promo before he walked out.
Mm-hmm.
And I watched his little promo. He took the piss out of The Miz, took piss out of Big Sean, Rusev, said a couple of bits, and then that was all the saw of it. I don't know what he did when he got the other side of the curtain, but last year's WrestleMania, Rock and Dickface, or Triple H, what you call him, they had a little thing in it, which was everyone sort of saying was setting up for this year's WrestleMania.
Yep.
So, are they looking to do Rock and Triple H for the title at WrestleMania? Or is the fact that The Rock and Roman Reigns are related, is that how they're going to angle it, that Roman Reigns is the head of The Rock, you know?
I don't think...
How do you feel the whole deal's going to play out?
I don't think it'll be Rock and Triple H. I don't think The Rock's got any interest in wrestling Triple H. How can you go from John Cena 2 years in a row to Triple H? You got the top guy of the company who you beat the first year, and then the second year you lose, which is the right way to do it. And then a couple of years later you're wrestling Triple H for the title and probably losing. I can't see Rock winning that belt. So I can't see it being Rock and Triple H. I think it'll be Roman Reigns.
Do you think maybe you could see a tag match, Rock and Roman Reigns against Triple H?
No, it won't. It'll be a singles match. It'll be Triple H versus Roman Reigns.
I mean, like in the pay-per-view before WrestleMania.
No, because
it is now. It was No Way Out when I was younger. I don't know what it is now.
No, why would Rock waste his time doing that? He wouldn't need to do that.
Putting Roman Reigns over. It's his family. See, that is the thing.
Yeah.
If Rock was to win the title from Triple H at, say, Royal Rumble or No Way Out, whatever the pay-per-view in between Rumble and WrestleMania is, then it's The Rock and Roman Reigns at WrestleMania.
Yeah, but you'd have to turn Reigns heel.
Is he not a heel?
No.
Alright. So he's just a really shit face then, that no one likes.
Yeah, he's got nothing. That's the annoying thing about him. Like, I can understand it with people like John Cena because he's got that sparkle, he's got that charisma, he's got that passion. Whereas Roman Reigns has got fuck all. He's just like, there's nothing, there's no spark with him. You know, and he's not even a good wrestler. So that's if he had like personality, yeah, of course you could get behind him. You could go, oh yeah, he's quite entertaining, you know, when he's doing a promo and that. But he's not got anything about him that's remotely likeable.
So he's learned nothing from The Rock.
No.
You know, at all.
No. Not at all. I think he's still learning to some extent. Obviously he's a professional, obviously, but I think AJ Styles said it the other day. I watched like an interview with him, and it's like when you get into your 30s as a pro, that's when you really start to get it, and I think I agree with that.
Yeah.
And it doesn't help wrestlers that are just WWE. You know, if wrestlers, it does. I mean, it does take time, but I mean, I think it's better when, like, you got AJ Styles, who's been in multiple different companies and promotions. That's give him a lot of experience.
Yeah.
To be as good as he is.
Oh yeah, he's very good, very good. And he's been champion all over the place, you know.
Yeah.
He was champion over here, Rev Pro. I had IWGP or whatever, New Japan, TNA, you know, he's been around, hasn't he, you know? He's won a few world titles, or
yeah,
a few top level titles.
The single biggest mistake Dixie Carter has ever made was losing AJ Styles.
TNA's a lost cause anyway.
In terms of like business and making money and drawing crowds in, that's the guy they shouldn't have lost. Don't get me wrong, there is others, but still, that's the guy they shouldn't have lost.
I watched an episode of TNA a couple of weeks ago, week ago, I don't know. Basically, like, Will Ospreay put something on Twitter about, oh, you might want to watch Impact tonight. Alright. It was like, it turned out all it was like a little fucking scrolling bar across the bottom of the screen asking whether people wanted to see Jimmy Abbott, Will Ospreay or Big Damo on a UK tour. But we ended up sitting there for like an hour and a half of Impact just to see it. Like, we didn't know what was going to be on there, you know what I mean? Didn't know whether they, like, Will was actually going to be on there or like there was going to be a promo on there from him. You know, we didn't know what it was about. So we'll have a look and we'll see. Bobby Roode's on now and James Storm comes out and they reform Beer Money. So they're, the last 10 years of their career has just been set back to where they was 10 years ago.
Yep.
Eric Young was in a four-way and he's basically just the main event jobber now, I guess, from what I can work out.
Pretty much.
So, you know, I don't, and they've got fucking Twat Hardy fucking winning the belt again. So it's like, you know, what progress have TNA made in the last fucking 10 years? They've lost everyone. Austin Aries, NXT, AJ Styles gone, Jay Lethal's Ring of Honor champion, you know, Kaz and Daniels are gone, Joe's gone, you know, loads of the guys that made TNA what it was had gone, and alright, they had been in TNA for like 10 years and maybe they had run their course in TNA because of the way TNA was. I mean, they'd all been champion or whatever.
But look what it is now though. You look at what the main event is now. You've got fucking Matt Hardy and Ethan Carter III, who is good at what he does. I'm not knocking Ethan Carter, but he's no AJ Styles. Ain't got fuck all on AJ Styles. Alright, he may be able to talk better than AJ Styles, but I don't watch AJ Styles for him to talk. I watch him because what he can do in that ring, and he has got good psychology. Same as Kaz and Daniels, man. They were still going. They're still going now. So
yeah, we've seen them over here a few times, haven't they? In different places.
Yeah. And Stevie's another one, man. Stevie Richards. All that man wanted to do was basically put people over. You know, just have good matches and put people over. Yeah, and just have a good run and just show people, just work for people. That's it, yeah.
He's worked his whole life.
He wanted to work with the younger talent. That's what Stevie wanted to do, so they could learn from him.
And currently, he's in Ring of Honor. He's had a match with Roderick Strong, and he had a match with Adam Cole the other day. You know, and this is Stevie. He can still go, you know. He can still go, and he can still fire a mean Stevie kick, and he can still tell a good story and have a good match.
Yep, yeah, absolutely.
And that's for me. That's a draw for me personally to watch Ring of Honor. I watch Ring of Honor anyway. Like, to have Stevie on there, I'm like, yeah, I wanna, like, I'll make a point of watching that now to see, you know. It's not like I'll just watch it as and when. I want to see that Stevie match now.
Yeah.
You know? And I don't have time for WWE. I watch so much other wrestling. Even like I watch old wrestling. You know, there's untold amounts of World of Sport stuff on YouTube. I watch that. You know, all the old stuff from there. I watch the old Super J Cups from 94, 95 and that. You know, and like old Japanese wrestling and old wrestling in general, that, you know, like Brian Pillman stuff and Kurt Hennig stuff, and you know, I don't get time to watch WWE, and I don't really watch wrestling too much in the sense of I watch it, follow the stories and shit now. Alright, they're good if they're there, like Lucha Underground. Yeah, I think Lucha Underground is fucking brilliant the way they do it. It's like a TV show. All the backstage they do and a lot like the promo stuff and all that is filmed like a TV show. You know? And Lucha Underground is one of them things that you do, like the wrestling is amazing, like what they do on there, but that's something I follow the stories, you know, whereas with a lot of other stuff I just watch it because I watch the wrestling, you know, and watching the wrestling matches, and it's like on what they're doing in the ring at the time, you know, and obviously the storylines play into it, and it's good to see that, but I watch more just for wrestling, to watch the matches than the stories. And the point with WWE is that is 90% of what it is. It's just stories and segments. You know, the wrestling is few and far between with WWE really. I mean, like what another thing you've got to say, in Triple H's defence or whatever, is what he's doing with NXT. Yeah, NXT. Right, I've got two opinions. Right, one is it's good because he's actually bringing in the best wrestlers from around the world into WWE, and like, you know, Kevin Owens for example, you know, bringing him in, building him up, you know. But on the other hand, the way I look at it is, it's just WWE raping the rest of the world's talent and going, like I said earlier, alright, they're getting too big for their boats, let's take all their top guys, you know. It's like, alright, they've got too many good people in that country, so let's take their top dudes. And I'm not having a pot, like, at the end of the day, it's good for the wrestlers, you know. They go to WWE, they get a lot of exposure, a lot of coverage, they make a lot of money, and that is what it's about, you know. That is what it's all about, and I don't, you know, I'm not, that's good for the wrestlers, but it's not good for the wrestling industry worldwide in some respects, because no one is getting a massive chance to build up, you know, like a good promotion.
Competition.
The competition. There's good promotions out there with fantastic wrestlers, but it seems to be that once a British wrestler reaches a certain level, either TNA or WWE goes, right, over here, boss, we've got you now, and now the British guys have got to look to the next level down and see who they can move up, you know. And again, like I say, you can't knock it, it's good that these guys are getting work, you know, and they're getting that much exposure. It's what they work for. It's like, even, like I say, as much as I dislike WWE, if I was a professional wrestler myself, that is still where I would aspire to get to, and that is the world title I would aspire to hold in a lot of respects. Personally, though, I think if I was a professional wrestler, I would spend a lot more time in Japan. And I mean, you can't turn down the money that you're going to make, and you can't turn down the exposure you're going to get in WWE. So you're not going to get it anywhere else in the world. But I would prefer, if it wasn't for the money and the exposure, I would prefer to stay working in Japan, doing the indie circuits in Britain, in doing some stuff for Lucha and Ring of Honor, CZW, you know, PWG, all these kind of places. You know, that is where I would rather work as a wrestler. but as a guy that wants to make money and you know, raise his stock up, WWE is the place to do that, and that's what every pro wrestler is still going to aspire to. And TNA is the next level down, or the next one down, that you're going to aspire to get to, because they are the two most recognised promotions in the world, based on the fact that they've got so much time on the TV and so much exposure, you know, as opposed to, you know, like Japanese wrestling. Not everyone's going to sit down and watch it because of the style, and a lot of people might not even watch it just because of the commentary. You know, if it hasn't got English commentators, or, you know, English-speaking commentators over the top of it. So WWE, NXT, they are the places to be. I don't knock them, but at the same time, I feel like it's just raping the rest of the world. And I don't know if Dribble Face will do the right thing by the majority of these guys. He obviously likes Finn Balor, which is good. He likes Kevin Owens, that's good, you know. But what about the rest of these guys? What's going to happen? Like, AJ Styles is a world champion from other places. So if you go on Triple H's past MO, yeah, where every time a top champion comes into WWE, Triple H buries him.
Yeah.
Is that what he's going to do with AJ Styles?
I wouldn't be at all surprised, but, you know, considering, you know, he's past MO, people like Benoit, Taz, Booker T, but I would love it if it didn't happen. You know, like Styles beat Chris Jericho on Raw, which, you know, is a good start for Styles. You know, beating a former world champion, IC champion, main eventer. So that's a good step in the right direction for AJ Styles' run in the WWE. They'd be stupid to waste that talent, because Styles has got a massive following and quite a big fan base. So for them not to utilise that and make something of it and push him and, you know, make him, even if he doesn't win the world title, fucking hell, just book him in good matches and don't mug him off, you know. I'd love it if he won like the IC title. I think he'd make a really good IC champion. Yeah,
he would.
And
but that's kind of saying, that's sort of thing WWE's going to do though, is go, look, this world champion, he's nothing more than a mid-level player in our company.
Yeah, but well, that's what. Yeah, I get that, but that should be the belt he wins first. You know, do it properly. Don't have him win it straight away. Like, when I said what I said, he was right. Like, him winning it straight away would have been like, well, that's a bit too soon. Like, don't now burn him out too quickly and all the rest of it. Build him up, you know, over the next couple of years, and then have him win the title. I'd have him win the world title, because he's a fucking good wrestler. He's good at what he does. So.
I mean, he's got the Bullet Club thing. WWE got the rights for the Bullet Club. They've got Prince Devitt there, so they could redo the Bullet Club thing. I mean, I was watching New Japan when AJ left. Kenny Omega and the rest of the Bullet Club done AJ over, and Kenny basically became the new leader of the Bullet Club. But if WWE have got the rights to the Bullet Club name now, and they've got Cole Anderson, Doc Gallows, Nakamura, Styles, you know, they've got Bullet Club members there, they've got Devitt. There's, in all likelihood, they are going to do a big Bullet Club storyline.
As they should. As they should. That should be the faction that fucks the Authority over. Why not? Yeah. You got a main event, you know. I don't like to use that word with Triple H in the same sentence, but that's what it is. The Authority is a main event faction, even though it is just Triple H and Stephanie pretty much, and Vince obviously. But they are, you know, they are very involved around the world title and the main eventers, so they are a main event faction because they've made themselves that. So have the Bullet Club come in and go, sort yourselves out. You're past it. You're a fucking woman who's never wrestled, and you're an old man. Do you know what I mean? So it's they'd never say that about Triple H anyway. You're an old man that's past it, or you're a wrestler that's past it. They'd never get away with saying that.
Well, no,
but
you're not allowed to make him look bad, are you?
No, and he's not allowed to look weak.
And that's the thing. The Authority probably wouldn't lose the rivalry to Bullet Club.
No. That'd be a mistake.
If anything, Triple H would join it to make it fucking, to get the Bullet Club to win the rivalry. It'll end up being Triple H versus, like Triple H's faction versus Vince's faction. Triple H will become the new leader of the Bullet Club.
Yeah.
You know, if anything, but that's the difference between Triple H and Vince is. Vince has never been worried about making himself look like a prick. He would, but he would for time after time put the guys in the feud with, like, through hell. But by the end of the feud, by the end of the rivalry, Vince McMahon was the one on his knees begging for forgiveness.
Yep.
Vince McMahon was the one bleeding, you know, all over the place. Vince McMahon, the one that took the kick in and lost the rivalry. You know, and that is the difference between Triple H and Vince. Is Triple H has got to win. Triple H has got to be on top. You know, like you go back, way back. Like, I know I'm just talking a bit smarky now, but like Kurt Angle had that feud with him where he was with Stephanie, and like sort of flirting with Stephanie a lot, and it was post, like the thing should have been, because Kurt Angle was getting heel heat, Triple H was getting a lot of sympathy. It should have been that Kurt Angle took Stephanie away in the end, and she went with him, giving Triple H a big fucking face push. But instead, Triple H changes the end of the match, and changes the end of the feud to where now Triple H just beats Kurt Angle, keeps Stephanie, makes Kurt Angle look like a nerd, rather than drawing off of that massive thing, because it would have made him look weak to have lost Stephanie to Kurt Angle. So, you know, you can't do it. Triple H will not do it. He will not have himself look weak. And you know, even Brock Lesnar, when he put that Kimura thing and broke his arm, like that whole angle, he didn't even play that through properly, you know.
No.
He didn't even sell that.
No.
That broken arm properly. Then it's you know, like I remember watching Randy Savage.
And
right?
and who is about the only person? It's the only two people that have beat Brock Lesnar since Brock Lesnar has come back. Is Triple H and Undertaker.
Yeah, and that's because probably Triple H don't want to be. You know, he's got to be up there with Undertaker, isn't he? He's got to be up there. Oh, Undertaker's done it, I've got to do it as well.
Sure, well, Triple H actually done it before the Undertaker, but...
Well, yeah, but you know what I mean? It was inevitable Undertaker was going to beat it, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that was probably already set up before Triple H and Brock Lesnar happened.
You know? But that's the thing, he had to beat him. And to be fair, they've done 3 matches. That's the 3 things, so yeah, alright. Triple H was going to win one of them. But...
Did they do 3 matches, Brock and Triple H?
I think they did. Am I wrong? I'm a bit hazy on all the WWE shit, but I only know what I know about WWE because like when I'm on my Facebook page, I've got like hundreds of wrestlers on my Facebook page that post shit about wrestling, and I'm on all these wrestling fan sites, you know, like Ring Wars, Ben Roberts runs, he always puts stuff, and you know, Ringside Wrestling, and all these different ones that, you know, they put stuff up.
Yeah.
So I see stuff, you know, you can't miss what goes on, people talk about shit. And I watched Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam and whatever the one in between Royal Rumble and WrestleMania was.
Yeah.
No, was it that one or the one between WrestleMania and SummerSlam? I don't know. Something like that. I watched another one, I think it was like Hell in a Cell or something along them lines. Might have been TLC, I can't fucking remember.
That Bullet Club has got so much potential.
Yeah.
In WWE, that could be like as big as DX and NWO.
I think Bullet Club is kind of the new NWO. It is the faction that's come closest to being as big as NWO.
Yeah.
You know, and it could still be that. It could be that in WWE.
Yeah. Definitely.
You know, they could make a fucking big deal out of it. And they should. They would sell untold amounts of fucking merchandise off of it.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's money to be made there. Absolutely. Yeah, it'd be stupid to, like, just throw that to the sidelines and not do anything with it.
You know, and like with Devitt and Kevin Owens and people like that, you know, you got AJ Styles, could have fucking great matches with them, and that would interest me to have a look at that on WWE, you know?
Yeah.
And that is, for someone like me that doesn't got fuck all interest in WWE, that is a draw for me to pay attention and to actually take that 10, 15, 20 minutes or however long the matches out of my life and actually watch WWE.
Yeah. It's like AJ Styles. Even if it's against Jericho, I'd still want to watch that because I'm not a massive Jericho fan, same as you. But the guy can work. The guy is good at what he does, but he just got too, you know, just got too far for my liking, you know. But he's been there and he's done it, and now he's stuck to his word, which is something I really respect about the guy. And he's not beating the talent that's coming in or the young talent, you know. So, and that's something I really respect about Jericho. He's a man that stuck to his word. Yeah,
he's been there. He's been that talent that was getting squashed by the old people. And he said back then, he will never be one of those people.
Yeah.
And he's not. Alright, so sort of changing, let's get off the subject of Triple Dick, Face, whatever you want to call him. A little bit, let's get on. But let's talk about WrestleMania 3. 93,000 people, was that right? 93,000 people?
Yeah.
Yeah? 30 years later, they have not matched that attendance record, right? The WrestleMania coming up, they have got an arena of 100,000 seats. They want to beat that attendance record, this WrestleMania.
Yep.
How are they going to do that? Right? I want you to tell me what matches you think they would do. Also, the people listening to this podcast, leave some comments. Tell me what matches you think WWE need to do in order to draw at WrestleMania, right? And now here's my thing, and I honestly believe none of these matches would be amazing, right? But this is what I think WWE most likely, I'm not going to say the whole, but some of the matches. And these matches are very unlikely to fucking happen, yeah? And honestly, they wouldn't be that good, some of them. Hulk Hogan versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. Yeah?
Yep.
Sting versus The Undertaker.
Yep.
Hardy Boys versus Dudley Boys in a ladder match.
Or TLC.
Or a TLC. Yeah, that can be TLC, wouldn't it?
Or a table match.
No, it's got to have a fucking ladder. Jeff Hardy can't have a wrestling match without a ladder.
No, but he'd get a ladder out anyway. They can't have a TLC or a ladder match because there's got to be something on the line for that. Unless Dudley Boys win the tag titles.
Yeah, which is easy doable, isn't it?
Yeah.
Easy fucking doable.
Yeah. Go on in.
Yeah, there's them 3 matches. AJ Styles and Devitt maybe for the leadership of fucking...
That won't happen. That won't happen, but that would be fucking amazing.
But yeah, I'm not going to go... this question is for other people, but there's some fucking far out there daft as arseholes matches that probably ain't going to fucking happen. And even if they did happen, Hulk Hogan and Steve Austin, as much respect as got for either guy, haven't wrestled for fuck knows how long. Hulk Hogan's a fucking pensioner who can barely move, yeah? But he doesn't have to. Punch, 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 clothesline, lock up, push him over, fucking, you know, he's got to take the stunner at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And the Lucas press.
Yeah.
It could still be done. And it wouldn't be a million times worse than it would have been 10 years ago, 20 years ago.
No, because it's about the psychology. The psychology alone would sell that match, would put that match over. You got two of the best in the last 30 years. So that alone would be enough.
Sting Undertaker.
Mm.
Right? Undertaker's old, Sting's old. Undertaker can still have it up. Sting can still fuck himself up every time he goes out there.
Yeah.
But people still want to see it.
Yeah.
People still want to see that match, and that match is a fucking big draw.
Yeah.
Whether it would be a shit fest or not, it's still a big draw. And again, the psychology of the match would be the deal, would be the thing in that match.
Yeah. I'll give Sting his dues, man. Like I've never been a massive Sting fan. I never will be, but his match against Triple H was all right. It wasn't a terrible match. It was.
You mean the one where Triple H talks us through the match?
Yeah. And in the ending was shit, but you know, beginning middle was all right for what it was. It wasn't a terrible match.
It was a nostalgia fest, man. DX, NWO, fucking excuse to get Shawn Michaels out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's another thing. Why not have Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart, right? Not wrestling, but going, this is my guy. Bret Hart goes, this is my guy. I go, alright, let's put our guys together. Let's see whose guy is the best guy. You know? And that'd fucking draw. That's interesting for people. And it's Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels, and people give a shit. And the point is, you know, and the other shit match, maybe a shit match, Rock versus Triple H, is still going to be one of those things that nostalgia is going to draw. You know, nostalgia. People go, oh, Rock and Triple H, they're fighting again. Oh, let's see what that's like. You know. But I mean, this WrestleMania, the matches I've just said, are fucking, that's a WrestleMania from 10, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That ain't a WrestleMania for today.
No.
You know, you should have fucking, I don't even know who they've fucking got there now. Dean Ambrose, Dolph Ziggler, Bray Wyatt, fucking Cesaro, Tyson Kidd, you know, Devitt and people like that. It should be about those guys now. Even, what's his name? Fucking like, I think Callisto, one of the Dragon Geezers. Don't know what their tag team name is. But,
Young Dragons, I think. No, I fuck knows what their names are.
You know, I don't watch WWE to know what's what in WWE, but I know a lot of these guys from outside of WWE. You know?
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like, we'll use these fucking people. You know? But they're not, are they? Who's getting pushed? Who's the draw? Are any of those guys gonna draw? Probably fucking not. And that's why they have to use people like Undertaker. And I've got to start, I like Undertaker, look, respect Undertaker. But it's, you know what I'm saying, they're not got anyone that can draw like the Undertaker. So anyway, let's just, aside from what I've just said, what do you think they need to do to draw 100,000 people and beat their attendance level?
Well, I think it's especially hard this year because a lot of their top guys are injured. People like Randy Orton, John Cena, Cesaro, even Sting, I suppose, even though he's not a WWE guy, but he's still a top guy in terms of drawing. Yeah, I think it's a struggle for him this time around. But you'll never get Hogan and Austin because Austin's a man of his word. You know, obviously, if they offered him X amount of dollars, I'm sure he would say yes. But it's how desperate they really are.
Yeah.
And I like the idea of AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens or AJ Styles versus Chris Jericho. That intrigues me, and that's a match I would want to watch. I've got absolutely no interest in Triple H and Roman Reigns, but that's the thing. You've got to use what they've done. That's kind of the way I would do it. But if it was me, you know, I would probably have AJ feuding with Devitt. You know, I would start that feud, and as you say, to whoever wins gets control of the Bullet Club, and make that a WrestleMania moment, make that a WrestleMania match, because that would be fucking amazing, and that would draw as well. It's not just for the sports entertainment fans, it's also, well, it'd be a match for the wrestling fans. Seth Rollins is another guy that's out at the moment, you know, so another one of their top guys is on the shelf. It's tricky, yeah. I mean, Dudley Boys and Hardy Boys, yeah, but that's, you know, it would probably draw, but it's a very desperate move, using guys that are basically past it, you know.
Matt Hardy's TNA champion.
Yeah.
He's still a top guy.
Not in my opinion. The TNA are fucking, like you said earlier, they're a lost cause. I'm surprised they're even still going.
Yeah.
I think, I mean, I don't even know if Undertaker and Sting's still viable, but because Sting got injured, like a neck injury, so I'm not even sure if that's still a viable option to happen.
Yeah.
You know, if it is, then do it. You know, if Sting's clear to wrestle, then do it. You only need a month's build, if that. I mean, I think if they went I think if they went Sting versus Undertaker at WrestleMania a week before, people would be like, oh, I'm going to watch that. I'm going to get tickets or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, so, but obviously they want at least a month to build it on telly. You know, a week's not really long enough to build it on telly.
No.
And Sting doesn't have to wrestle. I mean, obviously if he's clear to wrestle the night of WrestleMania, then he can just come out, and Undertaker can come out, and they can do whatever they do, you know.
Yeah.
And obviously got like Brock Lesnar and potentially Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania, a match that hasn't happened. Sorry?
I was going to mention that about Brock Lesnar and Bray Wyatt.
Yeah, and that could be fairly good, fairly interesting. Obviously Brock's over, even though he's a heel, he's still over, same as Bray Wyatt. And I could see that match drawing. I would personally make Bray Wyatt win that, because, you know, Brock's the monster, Brock's the big hard bastard, and Bray is a future champion, future main eventer, as far as I'm concerned.
Who's the big fella that hangs around with Bray Wyatt? Really big fella.
Oh.
I'll know his name if you say it. Ain't it possible that it's going to be him versus under?
Yeah, no, it shouldn't be that. Braun Strowman.
That's him, yeah.
I don't think there's been enough of him for him to be in that spot.
Yeah.
He's only been around like a year. For him to get that spot within a year, maybe a couple of years, whatever, but he's only been on telly like a year. So for him to get that spot, I think it's too soon.
If he had a good showing though, obviously, it's not to say that he would 100% lose now. Undertaker's streak is over, but in likelihoods he would lose that match. But all he would need to do is have a good showing.
Yeah.
You know?
I think Strowman is too big. Like,
what about,
you know?
Yeah.
For Undertaker to be lifting him up and that, and be doing the tombstone and all that sort of thing. I think Braun Strowman he's a big lad.
Yeah.
He's 350 at least, and that's a big guy for Undertaker to be lifting up for the tombstone or even the chokeslam. So, and obviously, like, Strowman's young, so he's got the, you know, that side. So I don't know. I don't think that match would work anyway.
But Strowman Lesnar then? Is that not a match of interest?
Not for me personally. I'd rather see Wyatt and Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
But I am a bit of a Bray Wyatt mark. But that's because I like Bray Wyatt. I like what he does. Yeah, I'd rather see Wyatt versus Lesnar. But then obviously you got, what does that leave Undertaker with? There's not a lot. I think that's the big question. I really do, for them. Because you haven't got John Cena or Sting, you know. So that was the two viable options. It would have been one of them two guys. I'm pretty sure it would have been one of them two guys, and that's a draw. You know, John Cena versus Undertaker or Sting. Obviously, that's probably a bigger draw. Sting versus Undertaker, because Cena and Taker have had a match.
Yeah, well, like, Sting Taker is a dream match for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So that is a draw, regardless of how physically good the match would be. Like we said, it would be the psychology and the storytelling of the match that would be what made it.
Yeah.
That, like you say, Sting's injured, so it's very highly unlikely to happen, but they need a match like that. And unfortunately, Ultimate Warrior and Randy Savage are dead. So, you ain't gonna get people, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The people they need ain't around anymore, really.
No, that's it.
I think Dolph Ziggler's time has gone. They've missed the boat with Dolph. He's never gonna be a draw now. Like a big time draw anyway. You're never going to get him right up there, are they?
He's mid-carder at best, mate.
Yeah.
like they definitely did miss the boat with him. People were getting behind him, and then they gave the people what they wanted for like a cup of tea, and then that was it.
Yeah.
But you know, I don't think Ziggler is a massive draw. Obviously, he's got a bit of a fan base, but I don't think he's a big draw. But obviously, if they put in that, that's the thing. If they put someone in that position and kept pushing and pushing and pushing, you know, something's got to give eventually.
Well, yeah.
Well, I don't know.
Could they get Daniel Bryan, CM Punk in for a match? Imagine what they could do with Devitt and AJ. And even you can't Neville as well.
Yeah.
You know, put Neville in a fucking match with
him and AJ Styles would have a fucking barn burner, mate.
Yeah.
That'd be a brilliant match. I forgot about Neville. Neville's very good at what he does.
Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, an amazing wrestler.
Is he ever gonna elevate past where he is though?
I don't know. I'd like to see him like in that. It's because he's got that spark. He's got that. He's got it. Cody Rhodes has got that. You know what I mean? He's just got something about him that I'm like, yeah, I really like that dude. Especially with the Stardust stuff, it's just like he does it so well.
Yeah.
And you know, I kind of feel like it was a bit of a mistake, but when he just went like fuck it and rolled with it, it's like, all right then, fair enough, you keep going, mate. Like, you know, he didn't make a big deal about it. He didn't sort of play it down. He's making the most of it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. But that is definitely a guy I would love to see a world champion one day, Cody Rhodes, because he's a very good wrestler, and he's got it. He's got that psychology. You know, the name as well obviously helps.
Yeah.
A lot of history there. So yeah, I definitely would like to see him in that position one day.
What about Dean Ambrose?
Now, I know Dean Ambrose, for a lot of people, is like, it's one of their favourites, you know. But for me, he's just a poor man's version of Brian Pillman.
He was very good on the independent scene, though.
I've never seen any of that myself.
That's the problem, though. Most people only see what happens in WWE. But he was very good on the independent.
Yeah, I don't like totally dislike Dean Ambrose. I don't like despise him like I do like Roman Reigns or Dickface, but because he's just too much like Brian Pillman, like loose cannon. It just it reminds me too much of that, and that's why I can't get behind him. You know, because that's what it is. That is what the gimmick is.
Yeah, but obviously he hasn't got half the intensity or anything of Brian Pillman.
No, he hasn't. He hasn't got half of what Brian Pillman had. Brian Pillman was fucking something special, mate, as you well know.
Yeah.
He was a guy that was told you're never gonna make it, and went fuck you. I'll fucking show you who I fucking am, and he did. He did show everyone who the fuck he was.
Yeah.
And probably one of the biggest mistakes Eric Bischoff ever made was letting that guy go.
Well, it was he had that car crash, didn't it?
Yeah.
And that basically fucked him.
Yeah.
But if he hadn't have had that, mate, he'd have been giving Shawn Michaels a run for money as showstopper.
Absolutely, absolutely, and that would have been, you know, regardless of egos and Shawn Michaels, whatever, being a bit of a knob backstage, he would have been stupid not to go, yeah, we've got to do this.
Yeah.
You know, and obviously like Austin and Brian Pillman, even if Michaels was being a little bitch, Austin and Brian Pillman would have, that would have been something special. That would have been like WrestleMania 15 main event. If not even WrestleMania 14, but obviously they was building towards more like Austin winning the belt. I don't know if that was because Shawn was injured or not, I'm not sure, but I think after that, if Pillman was still about, you know what I mean, you got something, you got magic right there.
Yeah. So, alright then. So, do you think they are going to be able to draw 100,000 people?
It's hard to say, like, because that's a lot of bloody people.
Well, they haven't done it in 30 years. Even during the Attitude Era, they didn't do it.
I think they're going to struggle. I think it's going to be a massive ask for that amount of people to show up or to book tickets, whatever. Just because a lot of their top players are not about. So, you know what I mean? You got to think a huge chunk of that audience is there for John Cena. You know what I mean? You got you got a mum and a dad and a couple of kids. That's 4 tickets.
Yeah.
You know, so that's without John Cena there. That's like, well, why are we going to go to WrestleMania if John Cena's not there? I'd only be going there to take my kids.
Yeah.
And if he's not on it, I'm not going to go.
Yeah.
So I think that's a big. I mean, that's a shame that happened, really. Like, I mean, I don't really care, but I mean, I obviously care about John Cena, like, but I don't know. I think it's going to be a massive struggle for him this year to pull that amount of people in. Yeah, it's Seth Rollins as well, man. Seth Rollins, fucking hell. Yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
I'll stop talking.
No, go on, you're alright.
No, we're going to go over the hour, though, man.
That's where I was heading with it, mate.
Yeah. Go on, him.
So, alright, in conclusion then, Dan, we have said, what, that Triple H winning the Rumble, winning the title, good thing, bad thing.
It's a mixture. I think it was partly a desperation move and partly ego. You know, and the fact that Triple H is probably injury free at the moment. You know, he can kind of go for like until Mania and then probably lose it, and then he'll go back to doing what he does. So, yeah, I think it's just a case of they needed, I hate saying it, but they needed a top guy to step in, and I hate to say it again, Triple H is that. You know what I mean? In terms of fan base, you know, he has got that fan base, he has got a following, he has got, you know, people that react to that music, so
whoever beats him for that title is gonna be over like a motherfucker. That's a mad ass push for someone to beat him.
Yeah, and that's what happened to Daniel Bryan, man. That's the thing. He done the right thing with Daniel Bryan. You know, he buried him and then he brought him back up again by losing to him cleanly. So you got to kind of tip your hat to some extent, not all the way, obviously, just a little tip.
All right. AJ Styles, Bullet Club. Is that going to happen or not?
I would love it too. I'd love it if fucking AJ, either Jericho or Owens, either way. I think that would be a fairly solid match, and like Finn Balor come out afterwards. You know,
Right.
just stand there on the stage and then point or something, and then walk back. Just that little moment. I think that would be like, oh, they're gonna do something with it, and that would be enough for fans of the Bullet Club to go, okay, we're paying attention now.
And WrestleMania, yes or no? Good or bad?
Well, apart from a couple of matches, bad. I'm only interested in what AJ Styles is doing, Undertaker and Bray Wyatt. Barring that, I don't really care.
Fair enough. Alright, so people, leave your comments below. We'll get back to them in another video. Let us know what you think about what we've been saying. Not saying we know everything. We don't. Alright? We don't know everything. This is our opinion. This is what we think is shit. Yeah? So leave your comments below. Let us know what you think. Nobody's going to agree with everyone. all of the time. Alright, subscribe to PSDovito. Go and check out our sponsor, YTWE 18 Plus. And yeah, Dan, any final words for our viewers?
No, just hope you enjoyed the this month's podcast. I hope you subscribe, give us a like, and we'll catch you next time.